our bodies to draw attention to us and not to God. So we as men, we have taken on that spirit of following a woman. We're going to get down to this in a minute. We following the woman, doing the same thing the woman doing, and the woman was following, she wasn't following God, she was following the spirit of Jezebel.
Yeah, that's right. She was deceived because of ideology.
There you go, brother.
Serpent came to her in the garden.
There you go.
So when you follow a woman, you already misled.
You already misled. That's right, brother. Brother. You saying it good now. All right, let's go down to slave to sin, brother. Man, this is getting good.
Slave to sin. 5. But if the servant declares, I love my master and my wife and children, and do not want to go free, then his master must take him before the judges.
Yes.
He shall take him to the door, or to the doorpost, and pierce his ears with an awl. Okay,
I want to explain this process to you. We're gonna move on because we don't have to be repetitive about this. What happened was in the biblical days when if a family owed somebody else money, and I can remember a story, and I'm gonna tell you a real life story. My aunt, she used to tell me, she was from Georgia. She's dead and gone now. She said her family used to work on somebody's farm. All right. And by working on the farm, they would give them some land to work on. They would give them the seed and everything. So they would have to take that land, they have to cultivate that land. So when the season was up, they would come, whatever they bought, whatever they made, they bring it to the master, whoever was over that farm, and they look to get paid for what they grew on the farm. And 9 times out of 10, she told me, every time each season ended, the master would say, or the slave owner at that time, quote unquote, because it came up in the 20s and 30s, said, we broke even. And they said, how in the world? We didn't raise all this cotton, we didn't raise all this corn and whatever else we raised on, and you said we broke even? So, what I'm saying to say this is that what happens to us when it comes down to what I was trying to explain to you about the slavery here, you on YouTube, is that if you were in a family, if you was in a family and you owed somebody a debt, you would sell your child to that master for 7 years or for 6 years, and that person would work to pay off your debt. Then at the end of the 6 year period of time, what happened was the 7th year was the year of Jubilee, which there was no work done, and basically you had a party for a whole year. The land would grow free, you would do nothing, and at that 7th year, like Brother Dwight said, you were willing to go free back to your family, and if you did not want to go back to your family, then what that master would do, he would take, and I would tell Brother Dwight, probably don't remember, but I talked to him, but some other people, I remember when I was growing up in the 60s, early 60s, we used to go to the ice house, and I explain this to you. We used to go to the ice house and get a big thing of ice, and we used to get an ice pick. It used to be a long iron thing, really straight and really pointed, and on the end of it was a piece of wood, and you would break that ice up to put it in your ice buckets or whatever, and doing back that time, we didn't have air conditioners. Okay, so like y'all got it now, y'all got it good. We got it good now. We would literally take ice, and take a fan, especially in the summertime, and let that, if you got dry ice, that's different. If you get regular ice, you open that ice up like that, you get smoke come off that ice. And we would let the fan blow that steam off that ice to keep the house cool. Wow. That's what we used to do. And I'm telling you, that's what we did. So that's what the guy would do to you, the master would do. He would take the ice pick and put your head against the door and push a hole through your ear, meaning that you no longer belong to your parents, but you belong to me. Same thing that the enemy is telling you, you belong to him, which is the world system.
That's right, with the earrings.
With the earrings. Bro, you ain't got to go no more with that, because that just speaks, it's just self-explanatory. It's just self-explanatory there. We ain't got to go no more. Let's go down and say, man. Should men wear earrings? No. Let's go down to symbols of defiance, because this is where we're gonna get down to.
Okay. The cross is a symbol of redemption, and the most scarce symbol of the Christianity faith. Once upon a time, crosses was worn only by priests, ministers, and the very religious. Today, many young black men wear crosses. They wear them because they have embraced the cross as a symbol of defiance.
Yep, there it is.
Many will consider it blasphemy to our profanity while wearing a cross However, it is the shock effect of wearing a cross while simultaneously, being a gangster thug that is appealing to many young, to many young black men. Many young black men who have embraced the gangster thug persona wear the cross because they are not supposed to. Indeed, these individuals have embraced the other symbols of defiance.
There it is. There it is.
It is in Cool Pause. In Cool Pause, the dilemma of black manhood in America. Richard Macho and Janet Macho Beeson state that being cool is the black man's way of dealing with racism and discrimination without losing his sanity.
So what does that mean, brother? What does that mean? We just talked about that.
It goes back to just the earring as a whole. We need something to stand apart. We need something different to look different to let them know. It goes back to the 3 guys they used for us in the Olympics. The 3 guys what they did to show that they are against the system. They would go like this. So the same thing for the black people, for the black males that wear crosses, let them know that they are in defiance. Against. What?
That's right.
To stand apart, to look apart, let them know they're not conform to the world system.
But they don't understand, but they have already been condemned by the world system, because now you are not being led, quote unquote, by the Spirit of God, but now you're being controlled by the society. You think that you are starting a fashion craze. No, you're not starting a fashion craze, because it's already been rooted in the scriptures in the beginning, which we tell you that if you pierce the ear, you are already have become a slave to the system that you are living under. Some people say, earring, it's okay. No, it's not. You are a slave to the world system, because you're living under that system. So now you're conforming. So everybody has made, and like we said, we have made a culture out of that. The hip hop, the jail, the prison, and the hip hop culture has made a culture out of that of defiance.
And Jesus, when he died on the cross, he gave an example that the hole is not a good thing.
That's right.
Just by the hole that was in his hand.
That's right, bro. That's
right. Let you know that the curses that was going to take place. That's right. Too, that was coming to the New Testament.
That's right, brother. That's right. Praise be to God, brother Dwight. You want it, brother. All right, let's move on. We're going to go into the earring and tattoos. Over the past decade, the earring has become increasingly popular among young black men. Why? We just talked about that. There is so much pressure put on black men to conform into one model of black masculinity. We've been talking about this masculinity thing. A survey was taken, 45% of 744 that was talked about in the survey, who took the survey of young black males, stated that they wore earrings. These respondents were from 13 to 19 years of age, starting young. See, that's how the system starts. See, the enemy, you gotta understand one thing, is that you cannot bend a tree once it gets old. You got to bend the tree while it's young.
That's right.
While the sap is tender. You get a young child, you conform their thinking, you conform their mind, you conform their environment, and then they'll fall in with the trend, and that will lead on as they get older, and then that trend will start.
That's right.
Then the jail comes, the prison comes, and all this stuff will fall right behind it, and then that's how a culture evolves.
That's right.
There it is right there.
During the age primary where a male is looking for his identity.
Absolutely correct, sir. At a very young age, because if the father is not there at a very young age, then he's going to seek out something that's going to make him feel like a man. So the defiance part of going against the natural culture of what's around him, you don't have, the scripture says, be not conformed to this world, be transformed by the renewing your mind. Yes, we in this world, but we don't have to be conformed by it.
That's right.
You got to be able to stand, like I always told you, brothers, I don't care if you like me or not. That means nothing to me. But you want to respect me for what I do, even if I have to stand by myself.
That's right.
Because it don't matter to me, because you're not paying my bills, you're not taking care of me, only God is taking care of me, so that's the only person I got to please. But if the earring thing, all that's going on, you're trying to conform to please somebody else, to be a part of, then you have already condemned yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
Good God from Zion. A young African-American male who entered college in 1985, I want to read this story, then we're going to move on. I was shocked to see that his African-American roommate wore an earring. He was unique because at the time, earrings had not been accepted. Now it is difficult to find a young black man who does not have 1 or 2 earrings. What do these earrings symbolize? He once heard an African-American athlete comment that wearing earrings was an African-American tradition. He said that he had been to Africa 3 times and only men he saw wearing earrings were the ones who were trying to emulate African-American men. You see what I'm saying? There it is again. Young black men begin wearing earrings as a symbol of defiance against the conservative white system. Praise be to God. I ain't gotta say no more about that. All right, brother. Let's go down to the bottom part. I want you to read this, brother Dwight. And I don't want y'all to be offended by the words that he's going to say. We're doing this because we here at MSF at Raw. We're just going to tell you just like it is, brother Dwight.
What is ours intended to prove?
Okay, we're talking about Alan. Matter of fact, go back to C right there, brother, and that didn't lead into that. Yes, sir.
The fact of that young black man and new symbols of defiance to affirm their black maleness, where one tattoo is not enough of a symbol, then young black men will move to multiple tattoos. Some already have. Allen Iverson of the NBA is a representation of this defiance.
Yes.
What is Iverson attempting to prove with his multiple tattoos? Because he has so many tattoos. His statement must be that he is the ultimate bad nigger.
That's right.
Who cannot be controlled by the system. Perhaps these symbols of defiance are today's version of the black gloved fist of Tournament, Smith, and John Corso at the 1963 Olympics.
There it is. That's what I was talking about. It is.
Nevertheless, these versions representation of black masculinity can be counterproductive, although Allen Iverson can get away with wearing multiple tattoos because he is a multimillionaire. The average young black man limits his vertical mobility when he embraces such symbols of defiance. Just like we get an example there, if you get a whole bunch of tattoos, it's difficult for you to get a tattoo.
Yes.
Man, job.
You get a job. You get a job. That's right. That's right.
And another thing is that, let's see. In order for him to get I just said it. In order for him to get a job and begin a career as a teacher, police officer, salesperson, marketing representative, accountant, or stockbroker, he would invulnerable have to prove to his employer that he is the anti-thug. In other words,
that's right.
He has to prove that he is the polar opposite of the gangster thug. Whether it is the baggy pants, the bandana, the braids in the hair, the earrings, or the tattoos, black men must realize that in certain arenas there are negative consequences to embracing defiant symbol of black masculinity.
Good God from Zion.
So what it's basically saying, just like when you get tattoos and it's hard for you to get a job, and the examples that they gave, you just have to work 3 times harder to prove yourself who you are as a person.
That's right. That's right. And you know, we talked about this when we talked about alpha male against gentlemen. You only get one chance to leave a good first impression. That's it. One chance. If you don't make a impression, once you walk through that door, they see you one time, that's going to be a lasting image in your mind forever. I don't care what else that person does. That first time you met them, that's what's going to make an impression on you.
That's right.
And if you come in there like that, I ain't going to say black males. I'm talking about white males, brown, purple, green, whoever you are.
That's right.
If you are walking around with the tattoos and the earrings and all this other body modification, which we're going to deal with next week, that first impression that you're trying to get a job or whoever you're trying to impress, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a negative consequence that you're going to suffer behind what you're trying to prove, because you already have put a strike against you. And if you're a black male, you already have 2 strikes. And if you're young, that's already 3 strikes. You already out.
That's right.
Period. Not saying that there's not a chance and hope for you. It is, but we don't want you to get to that point where you're going to put yourself in a position where nobody's going to want to talk to you, nobody's going to deal with you, nobody's going to give you a job. Don't put yourself in that situation.
Sometimes we think that we are rebelling against the system, but in the background we are making it worse for ourselves.
You're making it worse for yourself.
And that's what they want to see.
That's what they want to see. Because they know when black men or black brothers come together, there's power and strength. So what they try to do is suppress us by the system, by pressing us down, and then that way we won't get back up. So we'll turn to the crime, we'll turn to the drugs, we'll turn to the alcohol, the substance abuse, all that stuff to keep us suppressed so we don't move up.
That's right.
And then when the white brothers come over and do it, they say, man, the white brothers, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it because Josh is in the atmosphere. They will magnify the white brother if he comes into the rapping. Oh man, he a white brother. Oh yeah, man, he doing that white boy all right. But no, see, it's a double system there.
That's right, democracy.
Yeah, it's two standards, and it shouldn't be that way. What's good for one should be good for the other.
That's right.
And not vice versa. It shouldn't be that way. But that's how society is. But we have to, as black men, you better learn at a young age, and you men that are around them, you need to start teaching them. If you need some help, call us at MSL. We will help you. All right? Man, we almost finished. We got about 15 minutes. We're going to get down into it. Where did men ever get the idea to pierce their ears? We're going to move to this very quickly. They did not get the idea from the Bible. One, there is only one type of man in the Bible that is told to have a hole into his ear, and then it's saying nothing about putting an earring in the hole. And that is in the case of a slave who did not want to leave his master, so they bore a hole in his ear, showing that he was a slave for how long?
Forever.
Forever. As long as you got that earring, that hole in there, you wearing that earring, you are a slave to the world system. I don't care how rich you are, you still, subliminally, you're still being controlled by the world system. Okay? Good God from Zion. It is obvious that men do not normally have holes in their ears, or this sign of a symbol of being a lifelong slave would have meant absolutely nothing. Then where did men ever get the idea to pierce their ears? Men are making the same mistake that Adam did back in the Garden of Eden. They are following the woman.
Not taking a stand.
That's right. Being too passive. Following the woman. That's what got us in the position that we're in today. Following the woman. Not taking your rightful stand in the community. That's why women are in the position that they're in today, because we're not being men.
So we out of place.
That's right.
They in place.
That's right. Good God from Zion. Man, oh man, oh man. All right, Brother Dwight. Give us a few. Go down. We ain't even got to go through this with the women. Let's go down here to this note right here.
Verse 97.
The first note, brother.
Much too many people surprises. The sin of Sodom did not start with man. It started with the woman. What
did you just say, brother? Sodomy? You don't know what sodomy is?
Did not start with man.
And that's right. That means sodomizing of somebody of the same sex. Rape. Incest. We talked about molestation last week.
That's right.
It didn't start with men. It started with women. Did you hear what I said out there? It started with women. Go ahead, Brother Dwight.
Women first went against nature, and then the man followed them in that sin.
Sure did. Good God from Zion. Woo! I hope y'all got that.
That's why you see God's spirit for his homosexuality is not because it was the man, it's because the woman's already in the area.
That's right. And that's where sometimes, and then we talked about this last week in the molestation broadcast, that sometimes, 9 times out of 10, you got more women committing molestation on children than men is, but it's not talked about.
That's right. Men get worse punishment than the woman.
That's right. And it overshadows women. The women are those in there putting themselves onto young boys and girls at a young age, and that's affecting them as they grow up. And we talked about this last week about the identity crisis they have. Who am I? Am I a man or am I a girl?
A confused gender.
That's right.
Confused sexuality.
That's right. Good God from Zion. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna read this, and Brother White, then we're gonna go to jail, prison, and the hip hop culture, and then we're gonna close it on out, brother, because that's gonna be it. I think this has been a power. I wish we should have made a part 2 of this lesson, but if you want more, call up. We'll give you some more if you want it. All right. God did not make holes in people's earlobes, eyebrows. Listen to me very carefully. Tongues. So the flesh must be cut to insert the piece of jewelry. This process has changed over the years. It's been